You are listening to The Ben Keech Show, where every day the objective is simple. Ben will never stop fighting the fight and lighting the light on topics that affect you every day.
Folks, welcome to the show, the big show. My name is Ben, and you are watching the show that has my name on it, for crying out loud. It's the Ben Keech Show, and we are on episode 45. 45 times we've been here together at this desk and with this microphone and all the stuff. And you know what? There's content out the wazoo, and we are going to talk about an exciting topic today. A topic that I, right or wrong, have a decent amount of experience with, and that's how the problem that we're trying to solve is how to date. Dating apps, no dating apps. Like, how do we do this? How do we navigate dating in 2024? So I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or listening on the Spotify, Apple sort of thing, but folks, hit that review. Check out my website. The book is getting closer and closer. I'm actually have my rough draft done, and now I am starting to kind of go through the whole process of reading it again and starting to make some final changes in terms of the organization. But the book that I'm writing is titled Problem Solved. I don't even know the name of my book. This book solves problems for men. Book number 2 that's going to come out next year will be This Book Solves Problems for Women. I'm not a woman, so how am I supposed to solve problems for women? Well, you'll have to learn about that in 2025. Let's just stick with the program right now. We are on episode 45, not 65. How do we date in this day and age? Now, here's what I know about dating, especially with dating apps. If you ask any single person, if I could take this microphone, go out into the streets of Philadelphia and start talking to folks and saying, tell me what you think about dating apps. You know, every single oh my gosh, dating apps are the worst. It's just going to be one negative little baby fit after another. The funny thing about dating apps is there's a lot of people that find their spouse, even on the things like Tinder, where that's supposed to be for her. So it's like, why are dating apps so bad if they find people? Have you ever found someone you love on a dating app? So quit crying about it. Like, do you meet people in libraries? Have you met your dream person in a library or in a grocery store? I was joking with someone the other day. It's like, are people really expecting us to walk through the meat department and find our next wife? Do you think I'm going to go up to some cute blonde checking out a box of Cheerios and saying like, hey, I'm just like curious, like, are you actually married, or are you like, no, I don't talk to people at grocery stores. I get food and I leave. Dating apps aren't horrible. We have an obsession with looking at the negative side of it. We're going to look at the negative side. We're going to look at all of this stuff here soon, because what we want to first start talking about is, okay, what ultimately is these dating apps? What is it? It takes people that we potentially want to date, and it gives us pictures. Hopefully they're accurate. I mean, there's a problem with dating sites, right? I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, have I been tricked by pictures or what? Listen, women, just put your full body picture on these things. Like, do you think I'm supposed to look at like your chin up and try to figure out like what's below the equator there? Like, we're trying to like determine things, and it's like difficult. It's like, guys do the same thing, right? I mean, we may not mess with the filters as much as you ladies do, but all we're trying to do is see what you look like. That's it. So don't confuse us. We're not intelligent enough necessarily to see all the Snapchat filters you're putting on your dating site and just try to figure out like, okay, it says she's 62, but that picture makes her look like she's 37. So she probably is more like, yeah. Right, exactly right. Okay, so the problem with dating apps is we just want to know what you look like, but let's just say you're honest, and some people are. Here's the full body picture, here's like bald guy, here's, chubby girl, here's whatever it might be. Okay, that's cool. We are what we are, right? They're gonna figure it out on the first date. So we might as well be upfront and honest. It's an opportunity to meet people. Keep it simple, guys and gals. It's an opportunity to meet people. It's interesting how we can take that opportunity and there can be actual devastation when it doesn't work out, especially if somebody doesn't like us. You know what you do when someone doesn't like you? You tell them thank you. You were married for someone for 15 years who didn't want to be married to you anymore. That's a little more devastating than a first date and you're not the right person for them. Like, we're not going to be the right people for everybody. So your approach with dating apps is you're going to get ghosted. You're going to get some funky pictures. Girls are going to have to deal with a lot of stupid guys. And guys, why are you like that? Like, why do you obsess with being idiots? I'm just curious. Now, for all the good men out there, you can go drink a Pepsi for a second and take a breather. The idiots out there, she doesn't want to see she doesn't want to see you. She wants you to keep your shirt on. She wants you to keep your pants on. You know what she actually wants you to do? She wants you to ask questions about her. She wants you to get to know her. She doesn't care how many times you've bench pressed 245 pounds. It's of no concern to her. It doesn't excite her. She's not more excited now. It's like, I can't wait to meet this guy because of how much he lifted when he went to the gym this morning. Said no female. I mean, it doesn't mean that she's if you're strong and fit, of course, that's a positive. But guess what? She's going to figure that out when she looks at you. You don't have to tell her. This is a misnomer in dating that men sometimes don't understand is keep your mouth shut, focus on her. Do not talk about yourself. When you ask her a question, let's role play this out. Here we go. So let's say I have a little bit of experience on these sites. I've asked a handful of questions in my day. So let's say this. Let's say I ask a woman the question, tell me in the last year what you've learned about yourself in relationships. First of all, she's like, what dude is asking me this question? Number two, she's saying, I don't know if I want to answer that question. That's kind of a personal question. But the third part is she's intrigued is that a guy that asks a question like that wants to see growth, and women are attracted to growth. Women want to grow and they want men who want. And guess what? He's going to have to answer this question too. So now what you've done, and then when she answers the question, and let's say that she says, well, I've learned to set better boundaries and I don't sleep with guys on a first date anymore. I mean, I'm making this up, trying to be funny a little bit. I know, but the deal is that she wants to, when she answers it and she talks about boundaries, if you let that comment slide without a follow-up question, that's bad on you. So when she says, no, I've learned to kind of have boundaries, and you're like, yeah, so what's I know it's really hard to sometimes have boundaries fresh out of divorce, or you could say something like that. So that's not a question, but you're paying attention to what you're saying. You're validating what she's saying. You're understanding what she's saying. You're not sending her topless pictures. Do you see the difference, men? What women want in the dating world, what they would love to see on the apps, are just people that act as if they care about getting to know them. If your objective on dating apps is simply to sleep with people, just go to Tinder, go to some other app, or be really, really upfront. Women, by and large, literally almost every single female I've ever met on an app is, in my opinion, what I can ascertain is genuinely looking for a relationship. They may not be ready for it yet. Or, there could be different obstacles in that, but they want it. They're there for that reason. They're not there to find, a hookup or anything like that. And so it would make the dating world much easier if men had a little bit more, would focus less on themselves and more on getting to know her. Now, I will tell you this, women. If a man is taking the initiative and asking you questions and trying to get to know you, you need to be decent with the follow-up questions. Like, I'll figure out right away if this is like in a 60-minute conversation. If 55 minutes is on you, I'm paying attention to that too. Like, I want you to get to know me as well. And so there needs to be give and take. There needs to be questions and kind of a discovery of two people. This is why I don't think there's a big problem with dating apps. There's a problem with how people use the dating apps, and there's a problem with people having limited boundaries on the dating apps, or even people there for the wrong reason. I wish we lived in a society where there was easier ways sometimes to kind of get to know people. And I think that would help out. I've made a recent decision. I've been often on dating apps. I've met people naturally. I've met people on apps. Some of my favorite people I've ever known in my entire life, I met on a dating app. I love them. I just developed a mindset with dating apps is that if we're not going to get married, which we probably won't, if we're not going to be in a long-term relationship, maybe we will, maybe we won't, but I can be something of a positive for you. We can develop, maybe it's a friendship. Maybe there's a camaraderie with us. It doesn't have to be a loss. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I've actually had kind of an epiphany recently where my focus is, I've actually said this for myself. I've said one of three things is going to happen. I'm either never going to get married. I'm either going to marry someone I already know, but I'm not currently dating or currently trying to date, or God's going to bring someone into my life naturally that I get to know over the course of time and get married. I literally could care less which one of those three happen. I am personally, while I have no problem with dating apps, I am taking a break from the frenzy that can be dating apps. As a matter of fact, because I have recalibrated my goals where I am still determining, is getting married something that I want? I talk about relationships, I talk about marriage, I talk about divorce. I have a lot of paths my life is going that I'm focused on and working towards. And if I do get married again, which I'm great if I do, I'm great if I don't. It has taken a long time. I was obsessed with finding my wife. I looked and looked, and I would go through different situations and relationships and simply trying to find her. And I stopped. God literally spoke to me I was walking in a church, and I just had this revelation of stop, let it go, turn it over to me, do the things you're supposed to be doing in your life, find peace in that. And the crazy thing was I found peace in not trying anymore. If there's a 3-way coin and I could flip it, and one coin would be I never get married, or even just a 2-way, we can keep this simple and whatever. One side of the coin is I get married, one of the side of the coin is I don't get married. I literally had that right now. I could care less what it lands on. As long as I was being obedient to God and living under his jurisdiction in terms of what happened with my life, I'm just learning to trust him. And I don't always trust myself because I think things sometimes and then I change my mind. And it's a tricky thing, commitment and people and spending the rest of your life. And I've just decided that I am going to love the people that I've known for years and years of my life. I'm going to be devoted and dedicated to all my friends, male, female, my family, my children. And if I get married again, God will make it crystal clear to me so I don't have to try anymore. I can just live. That's given me peace. See, the whole idea of this dating journey is it is a journey, and we go through different ebbs and flows and different, kind of peaks and valleys. There's the emotional breakups, and there's the crushed dreams, and there's the hurt feelings, and there's that person let me down some way, and there's the excitement of what might be and the hope that comes in those things. It's all a lot. Every single element of love and of a relationship I've experienced since my divorce. Story after story after story. Amazing people. It would be an interesting Netflix documentary to do of my dating life over the last 5 years. Not because it's been, well, just trust me, like season 2 would be amazing. But nevertheless, like it's been an adventure and a story, and I just keep trying to learn. I keep trying to understand. And I finally have come to the fruition of I'm turning it over to God. I don't got all the answers. I may have a podcast, but I don't have all the answers. And I am not against dating sites, and I'm not against meeting people naturally. If you want to approach that cute girl in a grocery store, go for it. But at the same time, you really have to kind of get certain aspects of your life correct and in line in your motives. I talked to a girl one time that kind of wrote down, like the depiction of what she had as an ideal man, what she's looking for, what she's not looking for. You got to kind of know that. And men, if you're just looking for sex, it's just an empty way to view life. It's your own fears. You know that, right? It's your own fears of commitment. It's your own fears of it's just, there's more to it than that. I would much rather hear from men who genuinely cared for the betterment and the well-being of other women versus what they can take and get, which is why women have to have such strong boundaries when it comes to this stuff. Okay. Well, let's, what's your favorite dating app? That would be an interesting. You guys should message me or what is the most successful? Where did you meet your husband or wife? Did you meet him on a dating app? You should message me that. I'm curious. I have primarily been on one dating app, and that's Facebook dating. It's done well. Lots of amazing people there, but there's a few others out there, as you guys know. Okay. Do you know there's dating apps for 80-year-olds, by the way? That was another thing that blew me away. I know multiple 80-year-olds that are hot and heavy on these dating apps. Wow. Okay. Anyway. Okay. I just want to be alive at 80. So that's another story. Okay. Let's move on. The parenting advice. My parenting advice is different. It kind of depends on the age of your kids. But, I would encourage parents to selectively and wisely know how to include their kids in that journey. How you model certain behaviors, the conversations that you have. Allow your kids to learn positively from your dating journey. Unfortunately, it doesn't always probably work out that way. And I'm not saying that you vomit all your, oh my gosh, he doesn't like me, and don't bring your little tears to your kids, and don't cry a river about, any of that stuff. They don't need your drama. But if you have wisdom, show them your wisdom. Let them see smart things you're doing, and maybe hide some of the dumb things. I don't know. That is the parenting advice. Okay. There's a song by an artist, Monica, and the name of the song is Don't Take It Personally. And I just thought that song wasn't related to dating sites. But don't take it personally if you're not swiped or you don't like, or you're not their cup of tea. It's all okay. Deep breath, thick skin, next. I have talk to people that have said, dating apps are kind of a numbers game. They're trying to, determine the more people you meet, the more chances. I have a good friend of mine who, they got a date on Tuesday. They got a date on Thursday. They got a date on Friday. It's a numbers game. People are going to like you. They're not going to like you. You're not going to like them. It's part of it. I actually believe this. I think this is the correct perspective. 10 days, 10 dates, 10 different women, perfect. If you're already trying to control, like, I shut the dating app done. I'm like all about you. I'm like, well, first of all, if you're a woman, you shouldn't say that, number one. Second of all, man, you shouldn't say that either right away to try to manipulate her. If you're not, as a man, if your intention isn't to be exclusive with her, if you're not exclusive with her, which you shouldn't be off the beginning anyway, if you're not exclusive with her, what you do on a dating app is none of her business. And what she does on a dating app is none of your business. The only time that matters is if you become exclusive. Now that's a different story. But what happens in the dating world is we try to have fake exclusivity too early. Like, well, I'm just only talking to you. What if I'm talking to 3 other people? See, if a woman told me she was talking to a bunch of other dudes, I'd be like, heck yeah, game on. If she likes me, if I can't make like the top 3 of the 10 guys you're dating, then do I want to waste another second talking to you? No. Good luck to you. Love, have a great life. Move on. That's the mentality. So, the physical stuff happens early, and then all of a sudden, I don't want them, with somebody else, and it all gets screwy. Keep the physical stuff away as long as possible. Let them do whatever they want unless you are making a move for it to be an exclusive relationship. And don't do that. Don't love bomb and make that have to happen right off the bat. Be patient with all that stuff. Okay? Okay. Well, I'm not for sure if episode 45 is going to make you want to jump and get on dating sites, because we all know there's just some people that we wish we could eliminate. I had this idea for a dating app one day that was basically men pay. No, I said that wrong. I made up the app. I should remember. Women pay to be on the app, but men can be basically voted out of the app if they do squirrely behaviors and get reported by other women. So the women pay for it because there's value that we're getting rid of the screwballs. Men are there for free, but they actually have to prove that they're looking for relationships, not simply just looking for sex. Anyway, there's more to it. It's the basics. Someone steal my idea, make millions. Just give me a cut if you can. Okay. Thank you, folks. I had a blast talking about the touchy topic of dating and apps and all that kind of stuff. And maybe you're just married. You don't have to deal with all this stuff. Congrats to you. Stay that way. Go ahead. Would love for you to subscribe on YouTube. Actually, if you follow me on Facebook, we try to post some reels on there. Feel free to share those things. Get that out there to some people that may not know. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the support, the kind words, the kind messages. Every single bit of it means a ton. And I cannot wait to talk to you next time, as I will have guests. They're all coming. So get ready to meet some new folks as I get them on the Ben Keech Show. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. Have a good one. Adios. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening. Let's keep the conversation going. You can reach out on Ben's website, www.benkeechshow.com, or on social media to chat. And please remember to subscribe so that you never miss an episode.